What it do, ladies and gentlemen, as promised, I'm no longer coming on this channel investing with Rod with any of the music. I'm not gonna say never, but I don't plan on doing it too often. No music, no speeches, man. We just gonna get down to business. And I want to welcome everyone to another episode of Investing Simplified. As you can see from the thumbnail, we do have a special guest here tonight. We have just asking for a friend from the homesteading community, and I'm excited to have her on. But before I go any further, let me go ahead and bring myself up in here and get ready to get this thing started real quick. Like, hope everybody's having a happy Tuesday. What it do? What it do? Hey, welcome to Investing with Rod. I am your boy Rod, and as you can see from the screen, I do have the initials IWR. I'm going to be referring to Investing with Rod a lot as IWR. It is a mouthful to say. I want to thank the two homies that we have in the crib, and I do have a special show for y'all tonight with a special guest. And on this series, Investing Simplified, what we're doing here is trying to get everyday people. I'm an everyday person, so I want to get everyday people on the show to talk about saving, not necessarily stocks and crypto and ETFs, but let's just get started. Let's hear various ways, various examples. We've had David on the show from All About the Jacksons. We've had Mommy Trader on the show. We've had Lisa J. Stocks. And tonight, I have great pleasure coming from the homesteading community, just asking for a friend. And we're going to talk about some of the ways she saved, where she may be in her saving journey. And we're going to talk about some of the ways that I save and how I get motivated. And I'm not talking about with stocks. I'm not talking about with crypto. I'm talking about how do I get motivated, what everyone's familiar with, and that's money. We have to start with money. And without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to make sure she's ready and coming to the stage. You ready? Coming to the stage, we have the one and only Keisha from Just Asking for a Friend. How are you?
Hey, how are you doing?
I
What's
am
going on?
doing. Huh?
I was
What'd
gonna
you
say,
say?
what's going on these back roads and these paved streets?
Oh man, hey, I'm over here on there. What's up, fire? Hey, I'm over here in these paved streets. I need to go to some back roads. I grew up in back roads, and that's how how I got my start, man. Just back then, things were a little different, and people, including my family, really didn't have a lot. So to hear you say what's going on these backwoods and paved roads, right?
Back roads and paved streets.
Yeah, jack it up, y'all. I've been watching the channel trying to get it right. I still can't get it right. So, hey, if you don't mind, tell everybody about yourself on these back roads and paved streets,
Yes.
backwoods.
Back it's fine. My name is Keisha, and I do have a channel on YouTube. It is called Just Asking for a Friend. It is where I do DIYs and I also homestead. So I have a few chickens and just trying to live off the land and be more self-sufficient.
Wow. And you say live off the land, like you live on some land, right?
Yes, I'm on
Yeah,
64 acres.
64 acres. Y'all hear that? 64 acres. I live on I don't even think they have a measurement for the area I live on. I just live on a little piece of property, but 64 acres. And that's what we want to do. Everyday people. We didn't say 64 shares or 64 coins. We said 64 acres. And I like how you said being self-sufficient and getting started. And one of the things I want to talk about today, Keisha, and this is informal. If y'all have questions, drop them in the comments. I see we got Fire Dr. Ninja Turtle in the house, got 9 Real Homies. Hey, let us know you're in the house. Hit that subscribe button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. Share this out with someone. You can throw it on your community tab. You can send a letter. I don't care how you do it. Below a horse, I don't care how you share it out. If you're not familiar with this channel, when you see me wear the hat with the B on it, I don't drop gems and nuggets. I drop boulders, baby. And tonight, your boy come to drop boulders. I come to sit up here and I want to really break it down to the real reason why people may not be saving money. And Keisha, one of the things, what are your thoughts when it comes to saving money? I just right off the bat, what are your thoughts? People, you saving money. Is it hard? Is it easy?
Well, I think that a lot of us we were not taught how to save money. And then when we do hear people that are saving money, they talk about big amounts and we like, whoa, 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 I'm not in that tax bracket. So I when I talk to my friends and family, I just kind of tell them, like simple ways to save money without you even feeling it.
Wow. And I like that. I like that. And let me do some because I want to make sure because I did this one other time and it didn't let me. I'm just gonna type a quick comment here. And that was one thing. Uh, yeah, it went out. Okay, just wanted to make sure. So, if you're able to see the comments or type a comment, if someone could put a one in the chat, I greatly appreciate it. And I like what you just said. A lot of times we weren't taught to save money or how to save money, and a lot of times, hey, okay, I hit my 76,000 subscribers today. Congratulations, Mr. Stepper 88. Congratulations, man. Way to go.
Congratulations.
Way to go. And we celebrate all wins over here. Anybody celebrate anything, drop it in the comments. I'm quick with these eyes. I can jump over there, read that, and get right back. So when it comes to saving money, Keisha just stated the biggest myth or perception is you have to start out with a large amount. Y'all will be surprised. To this day, I will still save, say $2 at a time or $5 at a time. It's not always $100 or $50. Make it sensible for you. Would you agree, Keisha? Make it sensible for you.
Absolutely, because if it's not sensible for you, you're not going to do it. Let's be honest. We all started saving off where I'm gonna take $100 out of my paycheck every pay period, and then we see how that goes, and it we never fall. It always falls through. So I just say do what you feel is comfortable, because if you're saving, as long as you're saving, it's going to add up. So
Right, right. And that's what people, one of the things I would say when it comes to saving is patience.
yeah.
If you look at your savings every day, because you're getting interest, hey, how you doing? Tay East, what's going on? Tay, how you doing? I'm seeing the comments come in and I need to check something. I did a comment from my computer. I just want to make sure it's going out. I see the comments. Hey, Tay, what's going on? I haven't seen you in a while. Hey, but when I would say $2 and I was like, man, and then I'm getting interest, or even if I'm saving five and I go back at the end of the month and I really don't have a lot, what I would recommend is just continue to say, give yourself maybe a little time. If you're saving every month, give yourself 3 months. If you're saving every week, maybe give yourself a month and a half. Give yourself a situation or a time frame so you're not, because the quickest thing that I've noticed with me when I was saving money and still save money is getting defeated before I even get started. Like Keisha was just saying, we're moving too fast, expecting an overnight sensation when it's may not happen overnight.
No, it's not going to happen like that. I think a lot of us, we like, for instance, I had a cousin, and she has actually, I think the baby was like one, about to turn two, and we were having a yard sale, and she had like stacks and stacks of Jordans, and she was like, I got to get rid of all these shoes, and try to make some money. And I was like, and I asked her out of curiosity, like, how much a pair do these shoes cost? And she went on to say, they like between $60 and $80. And I'm like, for a 1 year or 2 year old's foot, that's crazy money and they grow so fast, and I told her, I said, that money could be, placed somewhere else. If you want to do something nice for your daughter, maybe, you should save that money each month instead of buying a new pair of Jordans. And maybe, I ain't too proud to put my baby in some Walmarts.
And that's what I'm saying, y'all. I like that because one of the things that I'm going to discuss tonight that kept me from staying on track with saving was trying to keep up with the Joneses. The Joneses may be putting their child in Jordans and whatever else every month or every week, but Rod may have to go to Walmart and get Jordans once every 6 months. The Joneses, at the end of the day, the Joneses ain't gonna come back and help Rod, and Rod ain't gonna be over there helping the Joneses. Hey, right, light up shoes is it. Hey, he said them light up shoes is it. Yeah. Hey man, you ain't gonna get more of a sensation at them shoes lighting up than they will saying Nike. I guarantee you, any kid, they want to see the bright light.
They don't even understand Nike. They do not know. They do not care. I promise you, they're gonna like them light up shoes better.
And it's
Yeah.
going, and that points back to the parents. So, Keisha, if you were, I'm gonna say that one for last. I'm gonna ask this here. What do you think? What are some of the places you think our money is really going?
Well, I mean, for instance, we do like what I consider. Now, it may not be wasteful spending to you guys, but what I consider wasteful spending is like some people go to Starbucks twice a day, you know, and you're spending between, I don't know, $7 to $9, a day on Starbucks, and that money could be put towards savings. And then, oh, let's not get on the Uber Eats and what is it, the Grubhub and all the rest of them.
Mhm.
The tip alone could have been put in, to the side.
Mhm.
Even so much as like, because they're charging you a delivery fee. We know that, and you got a tip on top of it. I mean, it probably would have been cheaper for you to go get the food, and then it really would have been cheaper probably for you to just go cook it at the house. So I don't know.
Mhm. Gotcha. And that's one of the things I said. And I said eating out. A lot of people eat out, and I'm not going to do. I did a scenario yesterday. I was talking with Keisha, and I went to Chick-fil-A the other day. It was $9. I'm just going to use nine. It was 9.63. If I go there 5 days a week for lunch instead of maybe taking my lunch half the time, 5 times a week, that was like $48 times 52 weeks. We're talking like 2,520 bucks a year on chicken, man. I'm not gonna even get funny about it. I'm gonna be serious. What if I only spent $1,000 on chicken a year and the other 1,500 just put it in a end of the year jar? Every day that I didn't go to Chick-fil-A, have me a little envelope, have an envelope, and take, when you get out of work, go home, take that $10 that you was gonna spend at Chick-fil-A and put it in that envelope. I turned my savings into a game. I had to. I didn't have the discipline to just sit over here and take money out of my pocket and put it in an envelope. I turned it into a little game. And whatever I had to do, if I had to revert back to being 12, then so be it. I mean, and
Right.
Keisha's right. Anything else on the habits? Because I got a couple of them. I got, boy.
Oh yeah. I mean, we all got bad habits. Like I said, instead of like packing lunch, we go for lunch. Like for instance, I'm sorry, you guys, y'all probably gonna beat me up, but even like smoking, for instance, I had a cousin and she was like, I'm always broke, and she's spending like 12 pack, you know, $12 for a pack of cigarettes, and she's smoking like twice. She uses 2 packs. So I'm like, that's $24. Let's just simplify it and say it was $20. You are spending over $7,000, a year on cigarettes. If it's a hard habit to kick, but if you just maybe kick that little habit, and I guess she thought about it. She actually stopped smoking, and she said, I believe that is where all my money was going. And that's a lot of money. Some people don't even spend that on rent.
Right. And we don't think about it when we're doing it on a daily basis, like whether it's cigarettes and I'm not gonna apologize because cigarettes is really a money snatcher. Drinking, eating out, these are money snatchers. And people have always said if you do things in moderation, I'm not going to speak on smoking, but eating out and everything else. If you do it in moderation, Starbucks, even smoking, if you cut back, do it in moderation, you'll be surprised. You'll start the saving process right there. But the test, you can't save money here and find a way to go spend it here.
That is correct. That is
You
absolutely
have to
correct.
make a commitment somewhere in between. Like you said, her aunt quit smoking probably because of the money she looked at. And it's her business what she did with her money. But if we want to get ahead, and I'm going to give y'all some examples before we end this live stream and some things to think about that keep me on track that may help you stay on track. And it's simple things. But if we think about, hey, if I just take half this money, I'm gonna save 1,000. I'm gonna enjoy 500, but I'm gonna take 500 and put it up because I want to get me something nice, or I want to get my niece, my nephew, my grandkids. I want to get them something nice. you'll be surprised. And the feeling, the sensation you get once you do that is priceless. So
Well,
go ahead, Keisha.
oh no, no, I was gonna say, something that I would do. Well, I would do is like, for instance, I would put $20 a day up, and at the end of the year, it's $7,300. But that was when I was married, and
Mhm,
my kids are grown now, so they're not
mhm,
in the house. Well, one,
mhm,
yeah, so they're not
mhm,
grown. I mean, they're grown, so they're not in the house anymore. So therefore, um, I'm not able to put up as much. But when I was putting up that money or whatever, it was $7,000 for if a car broke down. It was $7,000 towards a nice vacation for the family. And not to say that you have to spend the whole 7,000, because I did not do that. But I'm just saying, you live a more comfortable life. You're not so stressed out, because a lot of people, they're living from paycheck to paycheck. If you miss one paycheck, it's gonna be a problem. And for instance, I was talking to a couple of family members, and they were having problems, and they would take out like payday loans and things like that. But if you look at their spending habits, you know, um, they're doing things like, they at the club every weekend, and they always got a bottle, and things like that. It was just like some habits. I'm not saying that you should not go to the club. I'm not saying that at all. You do whatever you feel is, but I'm just
mhm.
saying, we got to go every weekend, people. We ain't got to go every weekend. Like, you might want to cut back on some of your parlaying, and then you're gonna take. And if you don't go to the club every weekend, then you're not buying a bottle every weekend, so you can be fancy all in the club. So I just try to. They probably tired of hearing my mouth, really, but
No,
like,
hey, well, I'm a not apologize in advance, because a lot of what's being said is really some things that need to be heard. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of what Keisha's saying back in the day, I didn't want to hear it, but now the situation I'm in now, I'm glad I finally listened. I wish I would have listened a little bit earlier, because I probably would be a little more comfortable now. And hey, we got a question from Tay Eats, and it's in relation to what Keisha was just saying. So no, they're not tired of you, but we're gonna hit you with some reality tonight. We're not here to everything that is being said tonight. Either Keisha's gone through it or Rod is going through it. One of us is going through it. So we're not saying, well, we don't do this. We never did that, but y'all shouldn't be. No, it's not like that. We have probably gone through it, or definitely gone through one out of two of us. So,
yeah,
hey, Tanya, I got it here. Tanya says she's listening while en route from home. En route home. Thank you. We also got Tay Eats in the house, and Dr. Ninja Turtle, and about five. It was up to about 10 real homies. I want to thank everybody for being here. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so. And you are on Reality Rod, baby. Reality invested with Rod. It is invested simplified. We're not talking about stocks, crypto. We could talk about that if y'all want to, but we're just talking about saving some paper, man. Everybody want to talk about generational wealth and whatever, financial, whatever, retire, financial independence, retire early. I'm gonna tell you what I call it, and I live it every day. You could call it the double F if you can't remember it. Start there, financial freedom. And I'm gonna break down financial freedom at the end of this live, close to the end. But Tay says, yes, I recently went through my bank statements and got so ashamed at how much money I spent on eating. And that something as simple as that. And that's what I want to do in this. Something as simple as that. She just pulled her bank statements and didn't have to share it with anybody, didn't have to get a, just looked at it herself. And she was ashamed of herself by looking at her actions of just saying, man, I'm eating out too much. And I'm gonna tell y'all, I don't watch Tay Eats live. That's why I got Eats on her name. I don't watch her cook. Hell, you ain't got no reason to be eating out. Who am I to and it goes with what Keisha's saying. I'm gonna say it. You ain't gotta go to the club every night. That's what's wrong, man. Y'all, it used to be an R&B song. I think it was the OJ. Live for the weekend. Damn, you ain't got to go out Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Because I'm gonna tell y'all, when you spending, they gonna come up with something every night. Madness Monday, Taco Tuesday, Wind Down Wednesday, Turn Up Thursday, Freaky Friday, Set It Off Saturday, Shut Down Sunday. Then we're going to be right back at Monday again. You heard me? I'm telling you, I'm dropping bulges tonight. I ain't trying to hurt nobody's feelings. I'm just going to keep it real. You can't go to the club and parlay Friday and Saturday and go and come to me on Monday talking about you broke. I'm gonna tell you, miss me. I'm gonna come up with some rap song. Miss me with it, but you can't do that. Let's be real. You can. I ain't gonna be the one listening. I'm gonna put my whole ears on Do Not Disturb. I'm gonna put all this on Do Not Disturb. So I'm sorry, Keisha. Sometimes I had to get, and tonight, y'all, I'm telling you, I came to bring pain. I don't care 50 minutes, 30 minutes, 100 minutes, whatever it takes. I'm gonna drop this today. Sorry, Keisha, I got a little.
Oh no, I was saying.
I'm going to go to the AARP checkup after this. All right, so I'm sorry, Keisha. I'm sorry, man. But that's what's wrong. That's what's wrong. We want to do better, but we don't want to hear better. Let me say that for the people in the back. We claim we want to do better, but we don't want to hear better. That, you know what? When I realized I was growing up, is when I started this. I'm just saying. Sorry. All right, we were talking about where's our money really going. Popping bottles in the club. She said, maybe giving up habits. And I had habits. I ain't going to break that down. We already talked about Starbucks. But I'm going to hit y'all with one I want y'all to think about. I'm going to say it so you should think about her comeback, maybe. But anybody ever thought how much money the internet costs? Come out with AT&T. One of the most expensive things you can do is get on it. I just want you to let that marinate. I'm going to tell you my version. Now I'm going to hear Keisha's version. You just on the internet. Is there any possibility you're going to spend the money you really don't need to spend? Just get on it.
What? You said getting on the internet, does it cost money?
Yeah, is there any money if you got on the internet that you may spend that you normally wouldn't?
Well, I can think about a couple of things. Like, for instance, subscriptions. We all got 1 million subscriptions, unless you subscribe to my channel.
Speaking of which is free, by the way.
No, I'm just kidding. I was kidding. But anyway, we have a lot of subscriptions that we have, and we've probably been paying on them subscriptions forever and don't even know what half of them are. We don't have to have every streaming channel, like maybe a couple of streaming apps. But I found that I was doing that. Like I literally had all of them for a minute. I was like, wait a minute, I call myself getting rid of cable and going to streaming because I was gonna save some money, but then I had to go get all the streaming services. I'm like, yeah, I got that one too. Like it was like collector's items or something. It was just like and then some of them would play certain things that other ones would. So you kind of get caught up in that. But now I only have 2 streaming services, and one of them is free with my phone service. So I had to, cut a lot of those out as well.
Well, hey, you hit the nail on the head, because I'm gonna tell y'all, the internet is a money trap. Now I'm on the internet right now, but boy, all I get on is YouTube Studio, Robinhood, and I'm out because I finally realized it's a money trap. I'm gonna give y'all an example. This is the old Rob. I'm bored. I ain't gotta look at everything on TV, and I get on the internet and I go to Amazon. But what I don't know, but I'm on Amazon because everybody else on there. Or I might go to Temu. It just depends on what mood I'm in. I might go to Temu and try to get me one of 50 items for $2 or something. Then while I'm on Amazon, I got this little movie that pop up on the side, and it got Denzel in it. And he tried to do something, and I said, man, I ain't never seen that movie. And at the bottom it said Netflix, and I said, damn, I ain't even got Netflix. Get it for $4.99. So I go click on that. But I ain't read the part that said for the first 10 minutes, and it's gonna be $24 the rest of the time. So now I'm on Netflix, and I said, wait a minute, I ain't got no snacks. I don't feel like getting up. I get on the DoorDash, and then I order me a bunch of snacks that I don't need. Man, I have spent about $200 just because I went on the Amazon because I was bored. You know what I do now? I walk outside and realize I cold here, come back and warm up by then. I ain't bored no more. Getting on the internet will break you. It will break you. And I just think that's kind of stereo. You got that kind of paper, go ahead. But how many people done bought some on Amazon in the last 30 days? I ain't talking no Christmas gift. In the last 30 days. Hell, I bought these. I ain't get them Amazon, but I was at some store. I just saw them and I always wanted some. This was $4.99. That's why I bought them. I ain't even want them. Look, I bought me some of them big old glass. I bought me some of them big old glasses everybody else wearing. That was a waste of money. All right, Keisha, I'm sorry. Any more that you got to wait on money, stuff that we spend money on that we don't need to? What up, Keisha? What up? All right, the next thing I want to talk about, and if you got anything to just now, are there any ways that we can save money when we don't feel like we can ourselves or depriving ourselves of anything?
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, is there any ways that we can save money without feeling deprived or feeling like we're cheating ourselves?
Well, I mean, yes, we can save money without feeling deprived. What I don't feel deprived. For instance, with DoorDash, I don't feel like you're being deprived. You can maybe cook some of those meals at home, or like I said, or just go pick the food up because it's probably costing you extra $10 to $15 by sitting in the house waiting on somebody to come bring it to you. So, of course, it may take a little more movement than we want to do, but it's way more comfortable for them to just bring it to you than to go get it. But in the long run, when you constantly seeing your money and it's just building and building and building up, it kind of motivates you. Like, what else can I do? And another way of being, that you don't feel deprived is, like for instance, well, yeah, I don't think I can use that one.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you. I'm gonna tell you mine. And I took a little. I really didn't need them, but I wanted to make sure I didn't leave none now. First thing, a lot of people say self-care. I mean, I will admit that little pedicure. And Tanya, I saw your message. I think it may be a Bluetooth or something, but I don't. I think I'm kind of stuck with that. But some of you, I don't really need a pedicure. And yeah, that little chair will put you to sleep. But I will say, if you don't want to feel like you're cheating yourself, go get a pedicure. But don't, hey, ladies, don't get mad. I'm just gonna tell you what I would do. I would go every quarter. And I know y'all gonna say, but my toes gonna be toe up. Well, one at a time. Or go take a Rosetta Stone class on how to do pedicures. I don't know. And then go every quarter instead of every month. Well, y'all go there to save some money.
Well,
but you're still going. You still gotta go. And we're gonna have plenty of time to go to the spa and the resorts. But right now we're trying to get if that means still not depriving yourself, but maybe scaling back. That y'all notice I keep referring to scaling back. I'm not saying give up anything or everything. I'm not saying give up nothing, but just maybe scale back. And one thing I'll do is where I don't feel deprived, I'll create a sub savings account. So I have a savings account. I'm not talking about investment. I have a savings account that says savings. Then I'll create another account that says travel. And I may put 90, I may have, let's just say $100. Oh no, we're gonna say 50. I have $50 to save. I may put 45 in the savings and 5 in travel. It may take me a long time to go somewhere, but maybe I get ready to do it just some of my check. I never do it. It'll not cheating myself because I'm gonna reward myself eventually, if y'all feel what I'm saying. Anything to add to that?
Well, I just want to speak on those pedicures for a moment.
I figured you did. I agree
with you on the pedicures, actually. That's something you could do at home. You go run you some hot water and put your feet in there and buy the little products yourself. Now, when it comes to them fingers, that's a whole different story. Like I'm not very good at the left hand stuff, so I can't really do these things this side with this
Mhm.
hand. Oh, versus maybe like getting both. Maybe we just do one. Maybe just one. So
And I don't. I mean, I've heard that some ladies may do mani pedis during the warmer months and just more manicures and pedicures in the winter months because they're wearing closed-toe shoes or boots or whatever. And then when their toes are out with sandals or whatever they got on during the summer months or at the beach, then they can be nice to go to a pedicures. But only thing I'm saying is just it give you a way to maybe save some money. Now, I'm not saying give it up. I'm just saying scale it back a little bit. Eating out, any of that. You don't have to give it up, but a lot of people are talking about the economy and stuff, and what we're trying to do is tell you ways that we've cut back. We may do things. I mean, you have a do-it-yourself queen here. You have a guy that does investments. So I didn't just fall out the tree. I had to get a lot of discipline. That's one thing you have to have. And hold on,
I'm
let
like,
me put it here. Experian can keep track of your spending and subscriptions if anyone is interested. There you go. Now, one of the things we're going to talk about is how to create a budget and some of the things we want to do. Uh, it's not, I don't think it's my mic. Let me see something. Let me see something. Y'all still hear it? I know what it is. I think it's a Bluetooth, but we have to, I have to keep that like that. It's just the way the setting is. But what I can do, I know what I can do. We're gonna work around it. And I just have to watch um just asking, I have to watch Keisha a little closer. So now it's gonna be a little tougher. So y'all got to bear with me. Then we're gonna hear the little that little sound, or we're gonna hear it like this. And then when Keisha come on, we may hear the sound because I think we're using a Bluetooth device.
oh, is it mine?
I think it was a Bluetooth. It, it may be, yeah, because you can't hear it now. You can
Okay,
hear it now.
you
It's
can.
when you move.
Oh,
So I guess you gotta just sit there like I think it may be your hair on a Bluetooth. That's what it said. Because when I do that, can't hear it. But when I do that, but we'll figure it out, y'all. And I think, yeah, even if it's just this, it sounds like it's just I don't know. But y'all,
okay.
I'll talk a little louder. We just
Oh,
gonna get the message out because I don't want to turn it into a technical thing. And it wasn't doing it earlier, so it could be the atmospheric conditions.
well,
But
give me a
anyway,
moment.
so we're really just trying to get this information out to everyone, just to make sure that people start saving and start looking at things you may be able to do. Like a lot of the stuff I talk about on this channel is more, I'm gonna call it kind of a high school level, and some people may need to start like I started at an elementary level. Uh, I like to tell people to start saving money. If you watch some of my stuff and you hear the 48% and the 24%, you may not see that saving, but if you just get the gist of saving money, then you may move into a more of a kind of a okay, now I want to invest. Now I want to get an ETF. Now I want to learn about stocks. Not saying you have to put your money in it, but I want to learn about it. And then you may feel a little more motivated to do it. Tanya has a comment here, and okay, let me pull Keisha back up here. And let's see here. Oh, you got to unmute it. And okay, and it says mani pedi are like going to the barber. If you wait too long, it's going to cost more. So are you really saving money? Yeah, that's a good point. What up, your favorite couple? That is a great point. Mani pedi are like going to the barber. And see, that's another thing. And what I would do, and that's why I did say I would probably take and I was being a little facetious, being funny, to take a course, but in between, maybe say not even every month, maybe every 2 months, not every quarter or every month and a half. And in between that time, maybe if there's anything that any small maintenance that you're able to do, maybe you can do to cut back on the cost. But Tanya is exactly right. Her and Timmy, if you wait too long, you're you're gonna kind of be kind of in a bad situation. We got your favorite couple in the house, and I can't unmute. I think you'll have to unmute your mic. Okay.
One
And
moment.
yeah, I don't hear it now.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I don't know what it was. Hey, we apologize for the we was underwater,
I'm
y'all.
sorry.
It was floating, we was floating over here in Texas, man. I think it rained the other night. But hey, for the people that's just coming in, what we're talking about, we're just talking about savings ideas. And if you guys have ideas like what Tanya just put and what Tay each said, if you guys have ideas, this is just Keisha and myself on the screen. But if y'all have things that you do, this is more of a forum to help people that you've already saved, maybe get ideas about things they never thought about. And also people that had never started may get an idea and hear something like what I may not do anymore. Keisha may do it. What Keisha may not do anymore, I may just be starting to do. So we kind of want to just shed light on everyone that's willing to say, "Hey, man, and I'm gonna give y'all some examples. I'm gonna let a few more people get in here, but I got a thing I want to now, going back to that, we were talking about the sub savings. One of the things I do is I actually have a couple of travel accounts, and I have a travel savings account. I have and I have a travel stock account, travel crypto account. We're not worried about the stock and crypto account. I would start if I was trying to save money. It's probably not going to be at what you would are typically, it may or may not be, but I would Google a high yield savings account or HYSA and put your money somewhere where it's getting at least 3 to 5% interest. And like Keisha said she was putting $20 in a jar. I guarantee you, if you put $20 in on Friday and look Wednesday and you do it every Friday, you're gonna still have $20. So what is that telling you? Don't just keep going back. Give it some time to accumulate. You got to give yourself motivation. And like Tay just said, and I want to hear Keisha's opinion on it, no matter what, I always pay myself first before anybody else. Is
Yes,
that a good point
yes,
there,
that
Keisha?
is that is that is a very, very good point. Yes, you pay yourself before you pay anybody. Before you pay the rent, I say you pay yourself because I mean you have to invest in yourself if you don't invest in anything else. Um, like for instance, I don't keep a lot of money in the bank. You know, I feel like the bank. Um, well, I don't want to use this instance, but I feel like they're making money off of our money, but you can put your money in something that will get a whole lot more interest in it than for it to just sit in the bank. A lot of people, they just have a checking account and that's it. And that doesn't really make sense to me to just have a checking account when it's kind of it puts me in the mind of like a pimp where you work all week long and he takes your money and you don't get to see it. So that's basically what the banks are. They take your money and you work for it all week long. And so therefore, I put enough money. I've always been taught you put enough money in the bank so that they still have where you still have some pool, right? But you don't put large amounts, the majority of your money in banks. You can put them in like you said, stocks. And I know this show isn't about that, but there are stocks and different things that you can get way more. There's mutual funds that you could get a way larger percentage on your money than it would be to just have it sitting in the bank.
And you bring up a great point, and for those of you that don't know how banking works, it's exactly how it works. We put our money in a safe location and we earn an interest on that money. And the banks will take that money and loan it to someone else and earn interest on that money. So we're both doing the same thing. We're just doing it with our money and they're doing it with our money. That's how that's kind of working. So, um, but if you're just starting, you have to, the reason I pull Tays up, no matter What? I always pay my before anyone else. Now, when you get paid, whether you have a job, you have a side hustle, whatever you're doing, when you get paid, you have to look at yourself. You're paying yourself. Now you're the employer. If you're paying yourself, you're now the CEO of you. If you got a check that's $1,000, I'm gonna keep this small, and your rent is $500, and you got $500 left, paying yourself $500 is not paying yourself. Let me give y'all an example. You got $1,000, your rent is $500, you got $500 left. Now I'm gonna pay myself first, but in the back of my mind, how much can I pay myself? What is the overhead of me being me? Well, let's see. I'm using small numbers here. I got a $100 insurance payment. I got a $20 cell phone payment. I got a $30 that I'm going to use to eat out. Now I'm up to $150, and I need probably another $100 to have fun with my friends. That's $250. I got $250 I could pay myself. Are y'all following right? Now, we ain't moved that money. We still got the whole 1,000. But before I go hang with the homies and do all this other mess, now I'm looking at paying myself because that money's still sitting there. It hadn't moved. I'm going to take and say, you know what, man? Just in case life start life, and I'm going to put me another 50 over there. And I'm going to save 200 because I know I'm not going back and touch that money. I'm going to pay myself $200. Then I go, I only got 800. I don't have no more 1,000. I don't want y'all to go here and try to pay yourself 1,000. All you got is 1,000. Your company just went bankrupt. You ain't got nothing to do nothing with. You can't take care of your overhead. Y'all, we are a business. Everybody that's watching this stream, everybody that's walking on this planet is a self-entity. And we don't even treat ourselves like that. We don't. Sorry, Keisha.
No, you
might be texting me, Rod. Can you shut up?
no.
And let me get out here. Big Murph said, my job just started giving us the option for employee stock purchase plan, but every time I look at the stock, it keeps dropping. I'm like, did I make the right decision? Before I go any further, I am not a financial advisor, nor am I a fiduciary. This video is for educational and entertainment purposes. Make sure you do your own research before you invest any of your hard-earned money. That could include a licensed professional, and your boy is not one. But what I am licensed in is common sense. I got a PhD in common sense. Now, probably M master's. I ain't got no PhD. I be effing up sometimes. All right, Big Murph. Let's look at this. Let's analyze this sentence real quick. And then I'm going to get Keisha's take. Matter of fact, I'm going to get Keisha. Keisha, like, I just want to hear what an everyday person like Rod would say about this.
Keisha, well, I mean, you're actually the stock man, so you're actually the perfect person.
I just wanted to give her the opportunity, y'all. My job just started giving us the option for an employee stock plan. I don't even need to know what company, but every time he checked, the stock keeps dropping. So this individual, Big Murphy, already got a negative thought on his investment. He don't even believe in what he be about to be a part owner of. That's a red flag, ladies and gentlemen. You got to think, if you're invested in anything, you are a part owner of that company. Ain't no shaking and faking with that. That is reality. Unless it's an ETF or mutual fund that Fidelity owns it, Vanguard owns it. But if it's an individual stock in mortgage brokerage, not a mortgage, a brokerage firm, employee stock plan is yours. You are the owner. Are you going to invest in something every time you going to take some of your real money and give to somebody every time and you see them, they giving away money? That don't make no sense. Or it's falling out their pocket, they losing it? No. Keep it on, Big Mercer. That's a red flag. I'm like, did I make the right decision? I had somebody reach out to me about this same thing, and I couldn't tell them nothing. I just told them, just look at the situation. Do it make sense? And they made their own decision. If this was right, if I was working at company ABC, and this company was not doing well, I and I don't work, I'm just looking at this scenario, I would get a brokerage account and invest in something that was working well. I wouldn't invest in ABC company. I would invest in EFG company that's doing well with my own money and my own brokerage firm and control it myself. That's just me, yo. Anyway, all right, Keisha, what you want to talk about? Because I feel like I'm doing too much damn talking. I got some more stuff, but
Well,
uh,
I mean, I think another way, in saving money is maybe like DIYs. Like for instance, I do a lot of stuff myself. I actually left from a 4 bedroom, 2.5 bath house to go live in a mobile home on 64 acres of land, and said that I was going to be a homesteader. And so when I moved into this house, it did not even have a door. Like it literally, there was no door. The glass was broken out. I stepped on the floor and went through the floor, but I had the skills in order to fix it. So, like, if you and you can, I mean, like the stuff is so easy. Even, well, I'm not advising you to do your own electrical, but I'm just saying it's easy if you were to learn. Um, and plumbing, it's just some glue, some primer and some glue, and you pushing them together. Like it's the stuff is real simple. Even like, just small repairs, anything that will save you money. You have to know that it's gonna make sense for you. Like I'm so glad, I'm so blessed to know how to do a lot of things that I know how to do, because I put the roof on my house. I was not fixing to get a roofer. The roofer quoted me some ridiculous price, and I was like, no. And then you also, even if you need things, you don't have to buy them like straight from the store. You can buy things that are, secondhand item. I know that a lot of people don't do that, but um, you know, you can save a lot of money by buying secondhand if that's something that you do. I'm not trying to talk y'all into that.
yeah, y'all, we just giving y'all examples, and I'll tell you that do it yourself is a dang on good example because y'all will be surprised. We often say technology is messing up our kids. It's messing up adults just as much. Right now, it's so many things that we used to do that we don't have to do anymore. That I'm gonna give you one right off the bat. Back when I was a little boy, I had a part-time job when I was 5, or actually a full-time job other than going to school. I was a remote control. I got up every time that the people wanted to change the channel, I had to get up and do it. There wasn't no damn remote control back then. Then I'm going forward. I just realized last month that they charging me $48 for the trash because somebody come pick it up every day. I can walk to the trash for free, but I don't have that option because so many people like it. But that's because I'm in a renting situation, not an owning situation. So that's on me. But think about little stuff like that, man. Like what Keisha just said, do it yourself. How many times do you send stuff to the cleaners when you can iron it yourself? I'm just talking about simple stuff. I ain't talking about building no, following through no floors. And then, man, Keisha trying to be a daredevil. I'm talking about just simple stuff like ironing your clothes. But I mean, seriously, like you can Google anything you want. If you want to go, nah, I ain't gonna say no later. But if you want to go in there, you decide you was going to buy you a entertainment center for your TV. I wouldn't put no expensive TV. Build it yourself. Just try it. It might work. You might save yourself $400, $500, whatever they cost. I don't have. I got some kind of stand, but that might be a new hobby. We're gonna talk about hobbies in a minute because that's another money trap. But Big Murph said he was locked in. Now I'm not gonna get deep into that. And yeah, we'll talk about that offline, Big Murph. But I definitely, you're welcome with the feedback, man, and we'll talk about that offline. Keisha, another thing I want to talk about real quick. How long we been on here? 49 minutes. All right, let's talk about some of the ways we stay on track. Everybody, we always got the good ways to how to save, how to start, but nobody really talk about staying on track and how hard it can be. Y'all, it ain't easy for me to save money every month. I'm sure I'm not gonna speak for this woman, but I'm gonna keep on rock. It's not easy for me to pay myself all the time. Cause that little bird, what's that little thing that used to be on the Flintstones, Gazoo or whatever the name was, get on my shoulder and say, Rod, you need that new watch, Rod. No, you don't. I've been in the store talking to my damn self. Like, no, you don't need that. Get out of here. But seriously, man, I don't even know who this
You
is.
know what? The prices nowadays will motivate you to save some money. I remember when candy bars used to be 50 cents. I walked in there the other day and it was like $2. I was like, who paying that? Who $2 of who money? Like, no, I'm not paying that for no candy bar. So it's like, and it's gonna make a lot of people lose weight too, because I mean the
I got to
grocery
pull this
store
shit
bill
real
is
quick, Keisha.
ridiculous.
So I got to pull a comment. Hey, let me get the name right. Hey, Rest Public, whatever that is. Do you guys also have tips for having a budget and a smile? And he say jobless. Well, yeah, I do got some tips for that. Republican, because
Okay.
I'm an equal opportunity information giver. If you're jobless, I would first try to find a side hustle. And I'm not a jobless supervisor, or nothing, but I would start there, just maybe trying to get you a side hustle. But that's where I would start. And I just that's the only thing I would say. I would get a side hustle or try to get your job. That's the only advice I got. Just try to get if you're jobless, try to get a job. And that would be your foundation. So I just wanted to address that. Sorry about that, Keith.
All right.
Now, speaking and public bring up a good one. Let me jump in this here.
Well, let me ask you this.
Uh-huh.
He said something about being jobless. Are you not getting income? Like, I don't know. Was that a male or female? I don't know.
It's probably not. We don't know what. I don't know, but
Okay.
I
Okay.
wouldn't even
Well,
spend. We spend enough time on it. Trust
oh, okay.
me. Yeah. Um. It. And if job is, I mean, job. A
Well, no,
Republic.
I'm saying some people are housewives and they, they may not work, but they may get money, so I was just asking
And
for a
that could
friend.
be. Go ahead and say what you was gonna say. You might be about to give somebody else some advice.
No, I was gonna ask. I didn't know if it was if the person was a house husband or housewife. I mean, because you even though you're jobless, you still can if you're the one that's budgeting the money, you still can put money off to the side. So I didn't know the situation. That was all. You can move on.
And that's a good point. Let's just say, and some people, I like personally, I don't look at a person, a house husband or housewife as jobless because that's a job in
Well, yeah,
itself.
it is a job.
I will say, while you are at home, if that's your situation, just like Keisha said, you still budget some of the money. You're controlling the money, even though you may not be bringing in the money. The
Right.
probably one of the last things I'm going to talk about is staying on track. So you finally built up. You've gotten the tools here to start saving. I'm not going to say budget, just to start saving. And then I am going to get into budget, but we're going to just get saving. Well, how do I stay on track with saving? How does Rod do it? I'm not talking about stocks and crypto, but how does Rod stay on track? The one of the biggest things I do, and I want Keisha to chime in whenever she feels like it, is I imagine slash daydream, and I'm gonna kind of talk in third person. This is what I'm doing, but I'm talking about what I want y'all to start thinking about. Imagine in daydream what it's going to be like to be financially free, not rich, not wealthy, just financially free to make your decisions, to control your narrative. Got anything to add to that, Keisha?
Well, what motivates me to stay on budget is, you see a lot of older people and they're working, right? They have no business working, I'm not, unless they want to, let me say that. But a lot of them working because they absolutely have to, because they did not plan to one day not work. So that motivates me to, cut back and do what I have to do, because I do not want to be a Walmart, which all jobs being taken by AI anyway. But I do not want to be a Walmart greeter at 71, marking off tickets, so that's what motivates me to save, and then another thing that motivates me to save is I, as a parent, even though my child is grown, I still feel like I want to leave my daughter something. I want to leave, I want to leave both my kids. I want to leave them something when I leave this earth. And that's another thing that motivates me to to save. Um and That's just pretty much it.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go a little deeper, y'all, and go back to Rod. What motivates Rod? Another thing that motivates me, and I'm not gonna put anyone else in this category. I'm just gonna tell y'all on this one. It motivates me on a daily basis to know that everything that I do with my savings and investing, whether it's my homies or my haters, everything they do on a daily basis, I get paid from. You don't believe me? Go back, look at some of the older video. Look at the Robin Hood account to the right with the amount of investments that I have, starting at $25. I started with $25 a month. And I put myself in a position by staying consistent, disciplined, and not listening to myself for years. And now I'm able to look at homies and the haters and everything they do, whether they go to gas station, Starbucks, McDonald's, to the mall, Amazon, you get on Google, you buy Apple, you get some, I don't care what you do. Rod is going to get a cut of the pie. And that has kept me on track, not for years, not for months, for decades, because I had to get to that point. That was the beginning goal. When I had only $25 and didn't have none of those stocks, I had a mutual fund. I don't even remember what was in it, but I knew the bigger picture. Another thing I do is I think about controlling the narrative, and I'm going to get into what this narrative is. Well, what do I mean controlling the narrative? This is how I want y'all to start thinking about getting back to y'all. Can you imagine yourself taking off work whenever you choose to? Have you ever gone to work like I have and you need to be off work and they tell you they can't let you off work because there's nobody else to work?
Right.
And it ain't your fault. Ain't nobody else to work. You are worried about hanging out with your family or your friend or whatever you want to take that time off for. You don't give a hoot about nobody else being off. All right, moving on. How many times have we gone to work? We is me, ladies and gentlemen. How many times have we gone to work and felt overworked and undervalued? We're just a head, a face, a number, or whatever we want to be, an employee number. And you know you're doing way more than what you're getting compensated for. You're the brains of the company. You just don't have the means to be the company. Hopefully somebody in the back hear me. Keisha, feel free to chime in anytime. You ain't got to, you can just jump in and start talking. I'll be quiet.
Well, the way I started working for myself was I needed off for a funeral. And they said I couldn't get off for a funeral because there wasn't enough people. And I was like, well, y'all about to have minus one more if I can't get off. I'm sorry, were you saying something?
I'm just, my mouth
Oh,
probably
okay.
went
I thought
to the
you.
floor like,
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. And so, yeah, they were just like they were not going to be able to give me that time off, and and that was my last day working for them. And I went and I started working for myself.
and that y'all, I mean, that right there, that's enough reason for anybody. I mean, they won't even let you off to go for your last farewell to a friend or family member. That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Another
they have to
thing.
be your mom. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. No, keep going. No, you jump in
Oh, no,
whenever
no,
you.
no. I was saying that they have to be. They say it's like immediate, so that means sister, brother, mom, dad, grandmother, grandfather. That's it. That's all. So auntie, uncle, they're not considered immediate family.
How many times for the people like me that worked most of your life or still working, ask for a vacation? You finally got the time to take off. You finally say the money to take off, and you put in for vacation just to be told no, you can't go on vacation. It's too many people already out. We need you, Rod. You're the only one that know how to do this, Rod. Go ahead, Keisha.
Oh, no, no, no. I was raising my hand.
All of that stuff. No, Rod, we need you. You didn't need me yesterday when you were talking about me, but today you need me because I need some time. Oh, no, you don't need me. You need a body. You need that assurance, insurance, and assurance that I'm here. These are reasons for y'all to think about staying on track and how I stayed on track with my savings. Dang, don't forget about investments, just my savings. Now, Some of y'all might have not ever been through this, and if you ain't, I don't know what planet you're on, because I know I've spent a whole year or two going through this in the United States Navy because it was a vacation. Part of it was vacation when we went on deployment. Not worrying about money while you're on vacation. You saved all your money to go on vacation, but when you get there, you ain't got none to spend and you're counting pennies. And what I mean by counting pennies, you got to make choices while you're on vacation. You done worked your butt off your whole year and you deserve a vacation. But when you go, you got to still stress yourself out and not relax, because you got to, do I want to do this or do I want to do that? Can I afford this or can I afford that? That will keep you on track to save your money. So when you finally get to treat Rod for them 2 days, them 3 days after working 365 days, I'm going to do whatever the heck I want to do. He said, agree or disagree?
Oh, I agree.
Keisha over there doing something, man, y'all.
I'm not.
Now, y'all might think I'm tripping with this one, but I've seen a lot of this happen with people I know, people I love, people I respect, people I care about, people I didn't know. What about being that relative, that one relative, that when somebody in the family needs something, you're that go-to relative? Y'all might think I'm crazy. Don't nobody want to be that go-to relative because they don't want to get their money. But we've been saving all this time. We've been putting money away all this time. That, notice I use the word give. I want to be that relative that I'm able to give a needy family member money. I didn't say loan it to them. I don't expect, now if they come back to give it, I'm not going to say, no, don't worry about it. I'm just going to put it in a stash in case they need it again. Or whoever needed it. Because I wasn't expecting that back. I want to be that person. Am I that person? I know, but I want to be that person. But that's keeping me on track now. Because you know anybody ever just dodged and didn't want to be that person? That person that one family member that everybody come to for money.
I am that family member that everybody comes to for money.
Oh, you are that family member. So, okay, family member that everybody come to. I have a question because I'm not that family member.
Mm-hmm.
When you give, if you give, I'm assuming you do, if they keep, you are that family member. When you give, not if, when you decide to give, does it come along with a training session or a words of wisdom when you give, or you just send them the money and they take off?
Well, it depends on who it is. But yeah, I mean, no, they don't hear a speech or anything like that unless I know you're just not doing what you're supposed to be doing in life, um, so now other than that, they don't get a speech out of me. They grown. I don't need to be reprimanding adults.
Thank you for that answer. And that's the point I was trying to make. And I'm so glad you said, I didn't expect you to say, because I wouldn't have said it like that. Most of the times, now, like Keisha just said, if it's somebody that we think we can maybe get through to, maybe a younger person and they're trying to get on their way, yeah, you may want to give them a little bit of advice or words of wisdom. But sometimes people don't want to hear all that. They just may be in a jam. They just need the money. Don't try to give everyone. If you want to be that go-to person in the family, or you going, everybody don't want to. They don't want to hear no preaching. They just need help. Sometimes we just have to help and move on. So that's one of the things that keep me on track. And the last thing, I've been that kid and I've been that parent, and I wasn't successful at either, in my opinion. And what I'm about to say, I want parents, even if your kids are adults, you may have grandkids or nieces and nephews. When I was a young man and graduated, I think I got $200 to $300, something like that. It wasn't from my mom, it wasn't from my dad, it was from my aunt in Chicago. That $300 meant the world to me. I spent it. It didn't mean that much to me. I spent it, but it meant the world to me. but nothing from my mom and dad. And that kind of bothered me for a while. I've never shared this with anybody. Then when my oldest daughter graduated, I gave her some Disney stock. I did better, but nowhere near where I should have gave her when she graduated high school. And that has bothered me. So I would want, and it motivated me to somebody, my grandkids, somebody, to be able to give them shares, big amounts of shares. Since I missed the mark, I ain't gonna say I missed it altogether because I still have opportunities. But I want to be able to give an offspring. It doesn't have to be a child, it could be a grandchild, a niece, a nephew. I have a third cousin that I just love. She's about 6, 7, 8 now. But she was like 4 when I met her, and I instantly fell in love with her. She was just hilarious. I even did a live stream. I can't find her, but I did a live stream where she did a live stream with me. She took over my whole studio. But I want to give her something major when she, and this is my third cousin. It's not my, I didn't have her. It's just my cousin, but she has the same bloodline I have. That's all I'm saying. Keisha, did you ever have that aspiration? You forget all that.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, we all want to take care of our kids, and it's like, for instance, a lot of us, like I said, we were not taught. Like when my dad passed, I was like 20, 22, maybe,
Mhm.
um, and I had to beg and borrow to put him in the ground, and my mother didn't have insurance, and I had to, I paid the bill every month for my mom to have insurance. So neither one of my parents, my dad didn't leave me anything, and you know, uh, well, I guess my mom will, but because I'm paying the life insurance policy. But I just stress to people because that's what I do. I'm in insurance. I just stress to people, leave. I think it's important to leave your kids something, something behind. That's one of the ways you build generational wealth, because if we are always taking our money and having potlucks to put people in the ground, then we can never build our money because it's always going out, and nothing's coming in. When someone dies, something should come in. It shouldn't always be, well, let me figure out how much I can put on the funeral, so it's just that.
And that's a good point. I don't know why it was created, but I would bet my last dollar that the GoFundMe wasn't created to sponsor funerals. I think it was
Right.
created to help people in need. And you know, um, a couple years ago, I had to bury my father, and I was extremely shocked. The money he had was enough to take care of it, and maybe that's why he had it. I don't know, but listen to what I just said. I was shocked that he had the money for me to bury him. Why should I even be stressing that? I mean, it was going to be taken care of, but that everybody can't do that. So I don't even want to beat that one up. But we need to just, one of the things I'll say, and I'm the biggest offender of this, ladies and gentlemen. So many people live for the day, like it's never going to be a tomorrow, and then a bunch of tomorrows coming, we ain't ready for them. I was one of those people. I was like, man, I'm gonna kick it now. I ain't worried about tomorrow. I ain't worried about next year. I might not even be here next year. I can't count how many times I said that as a 20-year-old, 30-year-old. And here I am. What if I'd have believed it? Boy, I'd have been in a world of hurt right now. So, Keisha, man, anything else you want to add to this before we get ready to shut it down? If y'all got anything, I noticed everybody got quiet. We still got some homies in the crib, a few here and there, sprinkling in, sprinkling out. Oh, there was one more thing I did. We didn't go over right how to set up a realistic budget. Do you currently have a budget that you use, Keisha, or you just kind of do it in your head? I mean, there's no right or
Well,
wrong answer.
well, I mean, I still do the $20 a day. But I'm just saying, like, it's not as easy as it was when I was
Mhm.
actually married. But like I said, that's $7,300 that I have to, if my car breaks down or anything like that. So that's basically the budget that I set for myself, that I feel comfortable with, because I don't do a lot of things that cost me money. I'm in the hold on, middle of nowhere, so I don't have
You're
Uber
in the
Eats
back
and
streets of paved
Grubhub.
walls or
Yeah,
backwoods of
I'm, I'm yeah, I'm on these back streets. I mean these yeah, these back roads.
backwoods and back streets. I'm
Back,
messing your old saying
yeah,
your
I'm in
ass.
all of them. I'm in all of them. Backwoods, back streets. back, so,
So what
yeah,
you said, you don't even care. You're not even and I want to break something down to you. She didn't even mention interest. She just said she put $20 in a jar because she's still seeing money accumulate. A lot of times people get so caught up in how much interest they're going to get back and they put their money in on the first and by the fifth of next month they taking it back out. So it really don't make how man, it don't matter how much interest you get. You didn't even leave it there long enough to get any interest. Basically what I'm saying is just start. If your bank is a jar under your mattress, let that be the bank of John, the bank of Sarah, the bank of whoever. Just start. So Keisha, you got started just wow, man, $20, 7,300. And so you kind of that's kind of your emergency fund slash whatever you want to do fund right there.
right, right.
Now let me ask you a question, and not without getting in your business. So you got $7,300 and lives, and you have to say
Mhm.
spend 3,000. You still got 4,300, and the next year come. Do you just add to that 4,300? You keep putting that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just add to the money that I'm about to accumulate. So it would be when I get the 7,300. The next year I just add the four to it.
Got you. Got you.
Yeah,
So
that don't mean I go out and parlay and I'm like, yeah, I got $4,000. No.
that's the point I was trying to make. She still just keeps stacking. She didn't have a reason to use the money. She didn't look for a reason to use the money. How many of us, me included, can find some reasons to spend some money? And we can find some, if we can't do nothing else, we can find some reasons to spend some money. Not everybody. Keisha claims she can't. What's up, Lisa J. Stocks? How you doing? Welcome in. Thank you for being here. Keisha says she can find her some way to spend some money. I mean, she don't. She says she don't find ways to spend money. Rod said he will, but really I don't. I'm frugal as I don't know what. I am. People don't believe it, but I'm not frugal with everybody else. But when it comes to me, nah. So Keisha says she's still doing her job. Now I'll tell you, with me, with I don't say have a budget, but how I'm gonna move my money. I guess that is a budget. How I'm gonna handle my money. So my budget, first thing I do is I write it down. Yeah, I know we got all this technology, we got all these phones and tablets. I write it down. You don't believe me? Whole bunch of notes right there. I write stuff down. And I got a number two pencil right here. I write it down. And then I'm not going to walk around with a big old notebook. The reason I write it down, I start taking ownership, ladies and gentlemen. I take ownership. I'm writing it down. Then I put it in my notes. Maybe not all at once, but I'll put it in my notes. Usually when I go somewhere and I need it and remember it's at home that I wrote it down, but I never put it in my notes. When I get home, I put it in my notes. So I have quick reference. I used to do spreadsheets, and that was before technology happened. So then I went to my notes, but I wrote it down then. And spreadsheets used to be fun, but it was fun putting it out. It wasn't fun putting it all in. The second time I did it was okay, but third and fourth and fifth month when I had to input that data, it became a chore. I had to go over here and there, click a button, and this formula didn't work. I was like, forget all that. But stick to it. Whatever, however you do it, you got to stick to it. You can write it down. You can write it in crayon. You can go out to the back roads with Keisha and build it with some sticks. Whatever you gonna do, if you don't have a commitment, it ain't gonna happen. You ain't gonna stick to it, and that's the hard part. Anything you want to add, Keisha?
I know. I think you summed it all up.
Did you have did not one last thing I have? I think I may know the answer, but I'm gonna ask you anyway. Have you ever had a hard time sticking to your budget?
No. I mean, I've always I'm more of a minimalist anyway, so it's not very hard for me to stick to my budget. I mean, and then I'm glad that I actually do have the budget because, like right now, I got to give the dentist $1,700 because I'm self-employed. I got to give them $1,700, to put a cap on a tooth that they say they can't fill. So, you
Mm.
know, so some of that money is going towards this cap in my mouth that's going in my mouth. So it's just always good to have, I mean, because you never know what's gonna come, come up. What if it had if I say, oh yeah, well just pull it. Now we'll pull a back tooth, but when it comes to them front teeth, we like no, whatever we gotta spend. So
And y'all, and let's say you are employed, know your plan, because just because you're employed don't mean you're safe. Keisha says she's self-employed. You may be employed and thinking your insurance cover the whole thing. They may only cover 75%. You got to come out the pocket. Where is that gonna come from?
yeah. And
Man,
well, a lot of people, their insurance doesn't cover I know some of them don't cover root canals and stuff like that. It's basically like cleaning and like little minor stuff that you can pay for anyway.
that's one thing I want to educate people, Keisha. Don't just run around saying we got. Know what you have. Don't say, yeah, I got medical insurance, I got dental insurance. Okay, what do you have? I don't know. I just know I got insurance. Okay, do they cover root canal? What's that? Do they cover no? No, know what you have. Even if it's the minimal, know what you have. That way you can compensate and be ready for anything that comes your way. I'm gonna read something to y'all. I know we've been talking about saving and budgeting, and I'll be honest with you both. And I'm not getting her, not going to tell her business, but we're both in the investments other than cash, stocks, crypto, all of that. And I'm gonna read this. I saved this for last, and I found this yesterday, and I saved it to my phone. Rent is up over 150% since 2000. Rent. The average new car jumped from 16,000 in 1990. I know some of you may not have been born, to over $48,000 today. That's three times in one generation that the price of a new car jumped. Three times, 16 and 48. College tuition has exploded more than 750% since the 1980s. Yet robots are coming along with no degrees. And it's only getting worse. By the time you finally make more money, it's worth half of what it used to be. Nothing is more expensive than not having enough. You can't save or work your way out of the rat race. Investing and business are the only real exits. I'm gonna leave y'all with that. You start with saving, but you're gonna eventually have to move to investing, because what you're getting in interest, Google it. Don't believe Rod. Don't believe Keisha. Google it. What you're getting in interest from your saving is not equivalent to the price of inflation or the cost of inflation. It doesn't add up. You have to do more, ladies and gentlemen. We have to do more. I'm not on here. This channel is not monetized. I'm not on here because I'm getting paid. This is free time. It's not free time because I am going to get some compensation. I know one person out there is going to hear Keisha and I. One person. We may not never know who that one person is, but somebody's going to hear something tonight that's going to say, you know what, I'm going to try that. I ain't got 20 to put in a jar, but I'm going to start with 2 in a jar. I don't know nothing about no mutual funds and all that stuff Rod talking about, but Rod did mention somebody putting money in an envelope. I'm going to put me $1 in an envelope. I don't care how you do it. I don't care what you do. Just start, please. You got anything, Keisha?
No, sir.
With that being said, do me a favor, y'all. If you haven't done so, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification, hit that like button. When you hit the bell notification, please select all. It's going to default to personalized. That way you won't miss out on future videos or live streams that I drop. We are going to increase. I keep saying it. I'm still battling myself. This is day 2 of December. I want to drop something every day in December. I may make it every other day because I don't want to overpopulate your screen with Rod's face. So who knows? It may be just some audio stuff that I drop, but I want to do something every day. But with that being said, man, you got to start somewhere. We all started from crawling and walking and started in kindergarten. Man, I'm looking for something real quick. But with that being said, man, Keisha, if you can just hang out real quick, I'm going to end the live, but just hang out 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and
All
end
right.
this. Much
Well,
love, y'all.
I just wanted to say thank you for having me on.
Oh, I'm
And
sorry,
this
y'all.
is
I'm just rolling over here.
yes, sir.
I'm sorry, Keisha. Thank you for being here. It is a pleasure, y'all. And I'm trying to just really keep this informal. It's a pleasure to have you here. And thank you for saying yes when I asked. I just asked her a couple of days ago. She's like, yeah, sure. And I didn't expect that. Um, so very excited to have her here. And again, we're just trying to have everyday people. If you're interested in coming on the show, hit me up. at Investing with Rod on Instagram, man. Only thing we may do a quick test run to make sure you're not camera shy or anything. If you're a content creator, even better, man. Please, speaking of content creation, check out JuSst Asking for a Friend. She is on YouTube, just created a channel. She's showing you some. I've been looking at some stuff, man. I'm over here learning some stuff, man. I'm thinking about going to get me a lemon tree, just so y'all know, for real. Just to do something different and learn something different. You know, let me look at these comments real quick. Let's see, we got a one here. I have to catch replay. Thank you, Lisa, for checking out the replay. I got in very late. That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, catch the replay. But y'all check out JuSst Asking for a Friend, man. Just a down-earth woman. Notice she said a businesswoman. 64 acres of land. Got to be doing something right, man. Y'all, we're not here to impress. We're just here to suggest. And I'm not a rapper. I'm just being real. We're just giving you suggestions. It's up to y'all to make it happen, man. And you know, I'm not tired of hearing the problems. I want to hear the problems. Because if I hear the problems, I can try to help somebody. So if you got a question, man, I'm not no financial advisor. I'm not going to tell you where to put your money. But I may be able to say, hey, just Google this or do something. But you need to check with a licensed professional before you invest your money. Go ahead, Keisha.
I also am not a financial advisor. So
Either one of
please
us are.
consult someone.
Yeah, please, man. Your money, you work too hard for your money. With that being said, man, 7 real homies in the crib. Thank y'all for being here again. This is Investing with Rod. This is the Investing Simplified series where we just try to have everyday people come on and talk about how they're saving money. We're not trying to be all big and bad with stocks and crypto and ETFs and all that, man. We just want to get people started. I got several videos you can watch with the rest of the stuff. On this series here, we just want to get people started. If you know somebody out there that has been talking about investing, you don't know the answers to give to them, have them check out the channel. I may not have the answers, but I got several connections. With that being said, man, I'm going to get up out of here. Hope y'all have a blessed and prosperous rest of your day. As always, y'all know how I end this thing. Shoot for the moon. If you don't make it, you're going to be amongst the stars. I can guarantee you. I will be coming at you soon, dropping more heat, more fire, more knowledge, more importantly, showing you how to invest with just a little bit of your money through my journey. With that being said, much love, y'all. Peace.